The third annual SMARC Hamfest was held on Saturday, June 2nd at the Salvation Army Gym at 1707 West Chestnut Expressway. The doors opened at 8 a.m. and the Hamfest went till 1 p.m. Dispatch staff Billy N0 SRO and myself, KD0 RSJ, were on hand to cover the event and to also represent local Skywarn groups. Both Greene County and the Southwest Missouri Regional Skywarn were well represented. Greene County Aries was on hand to round out representation for local emergency communications. This is the third year that SMARC has held their Hamfest, a return to a tradition that had been shelved for many years. The Hamfest has been very popular with amateur rail operators in the southwest Missouri area. Not only does it give folks another Hamfest to find all those bits and bobs at, but since the Hamfest is held on the first Saturday in June, it is the last Hamfest before Field Day, which is held on the last full weekend in June. This gives everyone that last chance to pick up needed gear in person before the weekend-long event. As usual, there were tons of radios, mics, antennas, and other gear for offer. The Salvation Army's gym was packed with tables, and it looked like people came to buy. And there's not only radio gear available, but also stuff you might not think of. This year had local honey, knives, target guns, and even a small collection of tobacco knives for buyers to peruse. Previous Hamfests have seen all kinds of homemade crafts and non-radio items for sale. Computers and even CB gear were on hand as well. You can really find it all at a Hamfest. Often there are so many vendors that they have to have a outside tailgater area to fit everyone in. Breakfast and lunch were both offered in the cafeteria, and there was also bottled water and juice available to drink. Not only could you use this area to get a bite to eat, but also to sit down for a bit and visit with fellow ham radio enthusiasts. I took the time to catch up with Dave Bearden and see how he had been doing lately. I did see one vendor that had several vintage vacuum tubes. Some looked really cool. I saw a pair of really large RCA tubes and tons of tubes in boxes. The vendor asked me if I wanted to see a really special tube, and he pulled out this little gem. He told me that it was originally made to go in a post-World War II infrared rifle scope for the military. I would assume that this was way before night vision, as he said it was manufactured in the late 1940s. I wonder if it saw the heat from a target, and that is how the shooter saw his target, likely at night. I did ask SMARC President Dave Bearden, KE0CVU, a few questions about how the Hamfest went this year. All of the tables but four were sold this year. Attendance was a little down from last year, but that could have been due to the less than perfect weather we had that could have kept some people at home. One of the major successes of this year was that a lot of people had a really good time and that they got to socialize with other hams. When asked if there was anything Dave would like to see added or changed for next year, he said that the club is always looking to add more vendors and, of course, more attendees. Dave said that the club will set the date, time, and location for next year's Hamfest after Field Day, which was just this past weekend. The Hamfest has been listed on the ARRL's website, and I'm sure it will be again in the future. Of course, you can also look to the Southwest Missouri Regional Dispatch to bring you that information in the future when it becomes available. I want to thank Dave and SMARC for the great Hamfest and answering my questions for this report. I'm sure everyone in Southwest Missouri can't wait till next year's event. For the Southwest Missouri Regional Dispatch, this is Franklin, KD0RSJ, reporting.